Welcome into Mental Notes Live. On today's episode, I've got singer, songwriter, and producer Vincent Rutley joining me for an amazing conversation and performance. Wood, take us in. Thank you so much for joining me on this episode of Mental Notes Live. So glad to have you here, and I've got a very special guest with me. This is my friend, singer, songwriter, stand-up comedian, screenplay writer. He told me tap dance. I've never seen it, so I'm not gonna say that one just yet. With my guy, Vincent Rutley. Vince, thank you so much for joining me, bro.
What's going on, brother?
Not too much, man, not too much. So, bro, I'm gonna want to dive right into it, man, because I know you've got an amazing story, so don't want to take too much time. But I know last year, 2020, was the 9-year anniversary of your accident where unfortunately you were paralyzed during that. So kind of take everyone through right away what happened in that story.
Well, first of all, I want to just thank you for having me on this platform.
Appreciate it, bro.
This is big. So, I mean, it's been a journey, to say the least. 2011 was the busiest season of my life. I had just started doing stand-up comedy. At that time, I had a stage play that was out, was getting ready to go on tour. I had met my now wife in that season. We met in August, proposed to her in October, and then November the 2nd is when my life changed. So I feel like God gave me her right before everything went down. You know, it was just going so fast, man. I'm traveling, I'm doing shows. I was playing the keyboard at the church, and I'll never forget, my baby brother called me. And at that time, I had a Jeep that when the alternators go bad, it drains the battery.
Right.
So it could drain the battery no matter where you are. So we're driving. He's driving on the highway and the battery drains, so he has to pull over and the battery was like dead. So he's like, call me up. It's like, man, I need you to come jump the battery right quick. And at that time, I was like 10 minutes away from him. So I jumped on the highway, pulled over to him, pulled up behind him, and we just assessed the whole situation. And what happened to me, man, could have happened to anybody. So technically, you know, to jump the battery, the hoods need to face. For those of you who don't know about cars, you know, the hoods got to face. They got to do that. Like, got to be, this is the one hood, that the other hood. And then you pop them, and then you put the, you know, so.
Quick walkthrough for this.
Just got to give them a quick little, you know, help you out right quick. But long story short, man, I get out, and I was like, yo, we got to wait till traffic clear. I'll pull out on the highway, and I'll spin around so that I can face you. And then we'll jump it, you know, and then we'll pull out, go to the mechanics. And traffic cleared up. You know, he's standing outside looking at the traffic like, it's clear, go, go, go. And I don't put my seatbelt back on, of course, because it's just a quick little, you know, turnout. So I pull out on the highway, man, and this pickup must have came off another exit that was right next to us, because neither one of us saw him coming. And they're going like 85. And I mean, they going so fast, I didn't see it coming. I didn't see no lights. I didn't hear no sound. But as soon as I got in the middle of the highway and I made the turn to go to the side, they T-boned me right in the middle of my pickup truck. And I'm like, basically almost ripped my pickup truck in half, bruh. The gas tank flew off. Technically, my body, I flew from the driver's seat all the way to the passenger side, and I bust my head wide open on the windshield. I got this, my battle scar right there. I don't know if you can see it, but it starts here and it goes all the way across the middle of my head. So my head was basically sitting wide open. Like, you could literally see in there, because it hit the dashboard, busted, but the most damage was done when I hit the dashboard. My neck snapped, and my spinal cord, they say it was severed, because that's what they said at the time. They said it just buckled, and when your spinal cord injury happens, your body shuts down automatically.
Right.
You ever seen like a guy on the football field get hit and you could tell his body go limp before he even hit the ground?
Exactly.
So for me, I hit the windshield, my neck snapped, my body flew back to the driver's side, and it was like a movie to my brother, I'm sure. Like, I couldn't imagine watching it happen. And he opened the door and he said, I fell out the driver's seat and just like landed on him. And the only way he even knew my head was open was because the blood was hitting the grass, and he heard it like it was raining. Wow. And he looked up, and I just woke up in the hospital. Like I said, no nightmares, no dreams, because I didn't see it coming. Mm-hmm. And I could have been dead on the scene. The doctors didn't think I was gonna make it. They assessed the situation. They tested me and all that good stuff, and asked me the same questions over and over again to make sure I didn't have brain damage. Because automatically you get your head hit like that, it's like, right. Yeah, his brain is gone. And then my mom came in and was like, no, that's how he is. That's him. He ain't crazy. You know what I'm saying? There ain't no brain damage. He just crazy. But God kept me, man. And from day one, it was like I had to decide at that moment, how was I going to live out this journey? Was I going to buckle? Was I going to fold? Was I going to bend? And thank God for faith. Thank God for family. Right. That I made the decision that I'll be up in any day. Yeah. Like, I don't know when, but from the first moment, from day one, it was like, oh man, my body just a shock. I didn't accept it as if the doctor said, oh, he's gonna be a vegetable. Like, this dude is not gonna be able to feed himself. He gonna basically be one of those guys where you gotta monitor every movement, and help him out for the rest of his life. And it just was something that I never accepted, man. Yeah. So
absolutely. Well, I'm glad you didn't, because we're literally sitting here looking at a miracle, man. So definitely grateful to have you, and grateful for your story and your faith and your journey. And like you said, it's been a journey. And something like that obviously is not something that we can even fathom, because like you said, it's something that you didn't even see coming. So obviously, with everything that's going on throughout this journey, I know it's probably multiple things that you've kind of learned and kind of stuck with you. Well, what are some of those most important things that you kind of have stuck with you throughout this 9-year journey?
Well, just knowing purpose. I thought I knew my purpose before. I thought I had purpose before. I thought I had patience. When I woke up, the first thing I heard was the voice of the Lord said, don't panic. I'm going to heal you. That was the first thing I noticed. It wasn't my girlfriend's voice. It wasn't my family's voice. It wasn't the lights in the hospital. It was, don't panic. And the Lord knew I needed to hear that before anything else, because if I didn't hear that, I would have freaked out. Right. I would have panicked. Not only to mention, if you don't know God's voice, then I would have never had that peace right off the bat. But after I heard that, it was like, all right, so whatever's going on, obviously, I need to be able to just take it and receive it. Then I saw my girlfriend, my fiance, and she's there, and I'm like, wow, like, she's not gonna leave. Like, they just told you I'm gonna be a vegetable. But I never had a doubt. I never had a feeling that she would, leave me. She's, I don't know how God did it, man. I don't know why he did it, but she's still here with me today. That's a major blessing, because without her, I would have been discouraged, and I would have been in probably depression. Probably would have came up on me. But I've always had this peace that, I got who I need, I got what I need to make it through. Exactly. And the truth is, if God brings you to a situation, then he'll bring you through the situation. Absolutely. That's if you choose to trust him. My faith has just been going to a whole nother level, man, to where I could give faith away, Ryan. Like, I could walk out and just, you get some faith, everybody get faith. And I still have enough to make it through the rest of my days. Man. But that's because of that relationship, right? And that with God. And no relationship, even the relationship with my wife, wouldn't have been enough to give me peace. I had to have that relationship with God. Then all the other relationships fell in place, fell in line. But if I could say that I learned anything, or if I could say that I've obtained something, and that's just, troubles don't last always. Yeah. It looks terrible today. It looks horrible. But I guarantee you, most of the people that commit suicide, if they was to come back, they'd tell you they wish they wouldn't have done it, because whatever they took their life for, eventually, it had passed. It could have been passed. Like, you could have been going through the worst situation and it could have cleared up in 48 hours. Yeah. But they don't know that now because they're gone. Yeah. You know, and I think if we decide, we have to make the decision to live for God. We have to make the decision to live in purpose, to love what we do, to love ourselves, and to respect ourselves, to appreciate what we have compared to what we don't have. Yeah. I just stopped worrying about what I didn't have. Vince, you can't walk. Yeah, but I can talk. I can still write. I can still produce. I can still sing. Like, I'm still living. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it's people that, for a man that should have been dead that night, not walking temporarily, because I'm still going to walk. Right. You know, that's another part. It's the faith.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to touch on. You always mention that, even from the first day I met you, that you're going to walk one day, and when I walk and stuff like that.
And I'm going to dunk on you, cuz.
No, hey, that's never going to happen. I'm not going to let that happen.
I'm a Zion Williamson you.
Oh, man, but your faith is just amazing. And like you said, just having that faith and that peace, I can't even imagine, bro. And like you said, with your wife, who was with you, that's real love, like Mary J. say. Searching for that real love. So that's just absolutely amazing.
Love I didn't think it was out there. I didn't even think it was, you know what I'm saying? I got to a point where I was like, I think I might be overthinking it. I don't think love like that really. But I held on to it, and God gave me exactly what I thought wasn't possible. So
Exactly, man, which is amazing. Amazing. And like I said, it's been 9 years, or over 9 years now, because the 9-year anniversary was last year. So in terms of, because I know what you did was kind of unique, I thought, on Facebook around that anniversary time. You put up a picture that kind of said RIP, and of the year of your birth, and then the year, obviously, of your accident. And then you did a Facebook Live that night, obviously celebrating and thanking God and kind of telling your story more. Why did you think that was so important to kind of give people that visual and kind of do that on the 9-year anniversary?
I grew up in church. It probably ain't nobody churchier than me. Yeah. Now, I call you Reverend when we get on the phone. You know, I call you first deacon. Growing up in church, we used to hear in the old school saying, could have been dead, gone. Right. Sleeping in my grave. And then they'd be like, oh, they get excited. It's sayings like that that gets them to the point to where they like, I remember where I was at, where my life could have ended. Exactly. And then I'm like, growing up in church, I'm used to understanding now the difference between when the spirit hits you and when you get emotional. You see what I'm saying? Right. I think sometimes when they hear I could have been dead, gone, or if it had not been for the Lord on my side, all those good old sayings, people get emotional. Because if the spirit hits you, it would change you. But when you get emotional, you just have a moment. Right. I didn't want to just give them another status, words to read and say, oh man, that was good right there. Yeah. No, I want to shake you. And sometimes when you see it, it hit different. Yeah. I've never seen it. I've never seen R.I.P. Vincent Rutley. But I feel like the Lord gave me a piece to release that image. And I didn't do it to make people think that, oh, Vince just died last night. You know, that wasn't the intent. The intent was, this is what it could have been. And when I saw it, I was emotional all day. Like, oh my God, this is what the enemy wanted it to be. This was the devil's plan. But he knew he couldn't kill me. Just like Job, he's like, I can't kill him, so let me take his body so that I can mess with his head. Right. But technically, when you see an image like that, RIP, the first thing to do is hit your heart. Because it's like, oh, I done lost my brother, man. I lost my homeboy, man. Why you take my man? And for that reason alone, them knowing that I'm still alive, I'm still breathing, I'm still well, but this is what my image could have looked like. I wanted people to put themselves in that situation as well and say, dang, when I got shot, when I got in an accident, when I fell off the cliff, or when this happened to me, when I broke my ankle, and all those situations that they were in, showing them you could have been the next RIP post as well. Right. Right. I mean, it's just reality, and I wanted people to understand that. Vince, no, I'm not too holy. I'm not too good of a person. I'm not funny enough. I'm not wise enough to miss death when death comes to my door. You know what I'm saying? When death knocks, that's what it is. Yeah. And we've lost so many loved ones in 2020, man. We lost so many great names, great people. But what makes you think that you couldn't have been a part of that number? You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to shake people, man. I wanted them to see the image instead of just the words. It was like, words are cool, but sometimes it ain't good enough to wake you up.
Exactly.
So I feel like that image, as you can see, it hit.
Hit me.
People was inboxing me like, bro, stop playing. Like, don't do that. I'm like, no, this is not a game. Mm-hmm. It shook you for a reason. I'm glad it shook you.
Right.
You know, so do something with it.
Yeah.
You know, let it hit you different to the point to where you walk better today than you did yesterday, because you could be the next RIP post tomorrow.
That's true. That's so true. And I think it did what you intended for it to do. Like you said, you had people reaching out and kind of looking back at where they could have been. And more importantly, kind of using your faith in a way, like you said, giving out faith and kind of inspiring them to kind of look past their current situation, because that's what it's all about, and living in purpose and things of that nature. And something that you mentioned earlier is, like you said, somebody said, oh, you can't walk, but you said you can still write. And obviously you've written, like I said, a lot of songs and screenplays and things like that. And you've actually got a sitcom coming out later this year. So tell us more about that, man.
Woo! Well, I, to be honest with you, 2020 has been a blessing for creatives.
Yeah.
If you, when we spend time where we don't have engagements, we don't have, you know, a lot of stuff taking our time, we get to sit and think. Mm-hmm. We get to create. And for me, the sitcom was supposed to be a certain way, and I was like, I'm gonna give myself 2-3 years to get it out. Right. You know, so we always have like projects that's lined up. Exactly. And I had several projects lined up. But 2020, I technically had 2 stage plays I was supposed to produce. Right. One in Phoenix and one in Detroit. Mm-hmm. But when the pandemic went down, automatically, it was like, we can't put people in a building to do a stage play. So automatically, I was like, oh, the sitcom was going to be the next project after the plays, so I could dive on it now. Let me just play with it. And I just, honestly, man, I didn't rush it. I didn't put a lot of thought into it. I put a little bit of thought into it. And then when the pandemic hit, it was like, instead of me going out to these locations and shooting, I'm going to put the majority of my sitcom on Zoom. Yeah. So the show is called The Counselor. And it's about a wheelchair-bound, obviously, Christian counselor, Melvin Dean Jr. And I just got this really weird, awkward character that he laughs at the wrong moments. He's very blunt. He gonna tell you the truth whether you want to hear it or not, you know. And he's just like, that weird main funny guy. You know, he's just Melvin Dean here. You know, you're spoiled. That's what it is. You're laughing, but this is the truth. You need to hear it, Ryan. And your teeth are big. Okay, I mean that's what it is. I'm sorry. So Melvin is just like, I don't care if you come to me, I'm gonna give you the truth. And because of the pandemic, he had to shut down his office. And that's what led to the whole him on Zoom, doing clients and actors coming in on Zoom. So there are no limits to, you know, what we can do. We're talking about all the different issues and addictions and situations that people have that they don't like to talk about. Right. But if you come to me, I'm gonna give it to you. And I think the coolest part of the show is I also play his father. Okay. I play his dad, Melvin Dean Sr. Gotcha. And that's not even somebody I can imitate. I gotta have I gotta have the prosthetics and the stuff on in order to do him. But they're living together now. Okay. And you know, they're living. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So they got all the distractions. You got Zoom. You got their back and forth. Their personalities are 100% different. Mm-hmm. And it's also fake reality show. So the cameras are following them around and they're doing their testimonials and stuff like that. It's just something that nobody's, you know, if you see the commercials and you like, oh, that's gonna be good. It's gonna be just like this. It ain't gonna be like that. Okay. Whatever you think it's gonna be, nah. Nah. And I think I might have gave away too. Did I give away too much, babe? I might. No. Okay.
Hopefully not.
She normally she'd be like,
don't say all that.
It's too much. But it's a joy, man. It's a treat. It's something super special. I feel like people need it because we don't just need to laugh. Right. Like as a comedian, I love making people laugh, but we don't need to just laugh. We need healing. We need messages that's going to be for the whole family. We need something that kids can watch and be like even though through the comedy, people gonna be like, oh my God, oh snap, oh such and such addicted to such and such, but the way they handled it though, that was different. Like I didn't maybe that's something I need to, think about. Or need to so you're gonna watch it because you want to laugh, but after every episode, it's gonna leave you thinking about something that you can apply. So it's a comedy with a ministry twist. Okay. Anything I do, man, is all about ministry, God, but it doesn't always look like that from the get-go. Yeah. But once you get into it, you can't miss it.
Right.
So the counselor, man, is gonna be
gonna be special.
It's gonna be a treat.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
So I appreciate you bringing that up. I can't wait to put that out.
Definitely, man. I'm excited to check it out. Yeah. Excited to check it out. So we definitely gonna have to stay tuned to that and spread the word once it launches for sure. But with this being Black History Month, and obviously, like you said, you got the show coming out later this year, and we kind of talked about some of the Black issues we dealt with last year and stuff like that. So with this being Black History Month, I feel like this is a month that is kind of overlooked. So that's why it was important for me to launch this show this month. So for you, man, obviously growing up, if you were like me, this was kind of a month, like I said, that was overlooked, didn't talk about it a lot in schools and things like that. So why do you think this month is so important to not only Black people, but to our country, and why do you think it should be celebrated more?
I definitely think it should be celebrated, and I think it should be because we have to love who we are. We have to know who we are. Yeah. We have to appreciate who we are. And you can't find who you are if you don't know where you come from. If you don't know, I think Black kids need to see other successful Black people doing what they desire to do. Right. And not just a Martin Luther King, not just a Barack Obama. Because being a motivational speaker and a pastor and then a president, those are great. But what if you want to be, a judge? What if you want to be, a producer? What if you want to be a screenplay writer? There are people, then you can look at people like, Tyler Perry, or hopefully someday myself, people that have set the groundwork and said, you could do whatever you want to do, I think that sometimes it can also still be, overshadowed with position and things that we're called to do. I think we should just know that God has created us to be exactly who we are. We shouldn't look on TV and say, oh, this is what Hollywood expects of us. This is what, Black history tells you exactly where you come from. And then I think it also allows you to look into your history and say, let me look at my family. Let me see what my granddad did. Let me see where I really come from. Yeah. But I think we should just love who we are, man. Appreciate who we are, and just know that we can do what we want to do with no limits. Absolutely. Because it's been done. Mm-hmm. It's been done for many years. I mean, even through slavery, Black people still was owning stuff, still was creating stuff, still was doing stuff. Right. And I think we should know that there's never an excuse. The color of your skin is never an excuse to not to succeed. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. There are probably moments or situations that would make people fear you because of who you are, but it shouldn't dictate who you are. Right. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. I'm Black, man, so I can't get an opportunity. That's foolishness. Mm-hmm. Work for it. Right. There's always a way to get there, and we need to come together more than ever before, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I feel like if you affect one, that want to affect 1,000, that want to affect 10,000, and let's build, man. Yeah, that's what it's all about. So I hope I answered it. I talk a lot.
No, man, you answered it, and more. So that was huge, and it's important, like you said, to kind of not focus on the fame or anything like that, but just be effective, especially in the Black community. So hopefully, I know your story definitely is going to inspire so many, as it already has. And you've given a lot of good tips about faith and everything like that and what you've overcame. But if you can kind of leave us with a quick mental note, whether that be a quick tip on faith or something that people deal with on a day-to-day, whatever that may be, what would your mental note be?
My mental note would be, today is today. Tomorrow is not promised. Whatever it is that you're supposed to do today, that's your purpose right now. That's your assignment. My new mindset is live today as if it's your last, because I know that even though I was 26 and I was doing all these great things, tomorrow came, but it didn't come the way I thought it was going to come. I couldn't, get out and get to that next event or book this or get to my job because life stopped for me.
Right.
So if I just focus on what I'm supposed to do within this next 24 hours, that's what I'm gonna live for.
Absolutely.
Today, my purpose is to be here with you.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, I don't know what tomorrow may bring. I know what my plans are, but you know, reality may not match my plans. So living today for today. And then another mental note I would want to leave with them is that whatever you're going through, whatever pain you're facing, whatever handicap you have going on, your temporary situation should never dictate to you who you are. I'm not a quadriplegic, that's just my diagnosis.
Yeah.
I'm not wheelchair bound, that's just how I get around for now. You know, technically the doctors told me, they said as a quadriplegic, if you don't feel certain things within a year, then you'll never get it back. Tingling and buzzing started in my legs like year 3. Fire came year 4 or 5. To this day now, I'll wake up and my whole entire body, you know that feeling that you feel when your leg fall asleep and you sat on it too long?
Yeah.
Pins and needles? I feel that everywhere from the moment I wake up to the moment I go to sleep. The best pain I ever felt, because I know what it means.
Right. You on the way.
The doctors also tell you, if you're gonna get the feeling back, the movement back, you gotta go through a nerve pain session first. I am going through that nerve pain spot right now. I'm like in the end of the 3rd quarter. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
4th quarter hit,
Are you ready?
I'm dunking on you. Dunking on this man. And cause you laughing, I'm gonna slam you too. And your crew, you too, you getting some too. You getting some too. Everybody gets some. I'm gonna come back. No. But I just say all that to say, the pain tells me what's happening. So no, I don't want no medication to numb it. No, I don't want no, you know, anything that's gonna turn the pain down. This is a man that didn't feel nothing for years. Nothing, Ryan. Yeah. Imagine them you laying in bed and they stretching your legs, and I feel like they got a prosthetic fake leg in my face because I don't feel anything. It's just dangling. And they're like, we gotta get you stretched. I'm looking at this leg like, bruh, I don't even feel like that's my leg. Because everything was gone, nothing, no movement, no feeling. My God was like, let me start turning it on. And for me, it's just, what I feel is just a representation of what's going down. So, best pain I ever felt, man. Yeah. Let the pain inspire you, is what I would say. Okay. Let the pain inspire you, man. Definitely. Because you got to know what it means. If you feel it, that means it's alive. Yeah. That means it's awake. Right. I heard a man say, no pain, no gain. You know, if I ain't had a pain, I mean, I'm not gaining the feeling. I'm not gaining the movement. Exactly. But it's coming because I feel it. Mm-hmm. And it's not even, I don't just feel it just in here. Right. I'm not deep. Like, you got to feel it in your heart. Mm-hmm. If you feel it in your heart and your mind, it's going to happen. No, I feel it. It hurt. Joker, it hurt. It's on fire. But I know what that means. So I hold on to it.
Yeah, such thing as good pain, for sure. For sure, man. Good, man. Well, it's amazing, bro. Amazing story, amazing conversation. Thank you so much for being here, bro. And I know you kind of segued into it already, Troubles Don't Last. And that's a song, one of your songs that you wrote, and that you have blessed me with the honor of performing for the show, man. So without further ado, we're going to get to that in a second with my guy, Vincent Rutley, performing his hit single, Troubles Don't Last.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but no matter what you're going through, just know if God brings you to it, He'll bring you through it. Troubles don't last always. Troubles are gonna come. You're gonna have hard moments, you're gonna have tough times. But the Bible says in Psalms 30:5 that weeping may endure for a night. Yeah. But I believe that joy is gonna come in the morning. 'Cause troubles don't last always. There are better days you can look forward to. And even though it may hurt, I recommend keep moving forward. Listen, most days are good, few days are bad, times when we're blessed, oh, and when we're sad. I must confess, it's never easy. The more I try, the more life weighs on me. But Lord, you know me well, better than I know myself, and you won't put more on me. Oh, but no, I won't give up. No, 'cause in the end, we win. Woo. Listen, troubles don't last always. Just hang in there. No, this is not the end for you. You can make it. You will make it. Listen, there will be times you may feel it's you. No one can feel the way you do. Just take one look in the mirror and realize whose you are. Hey, my God is faithful to heal and mend every pain and broken heart. Somebody sing, we've been made, yeah. Endure, but joy in the morning time, no. Comes in the morning time. There are better days you can look even though it may hurt. I recommend, keep moving. Till troubles don't last always. There are better days. Even though it may hurt, I recommend you gotta keep moving. Yeah, I recommend, hey, I recommend, move on. I recommend, hey, I recommend, ooh, Gotta keep moving, gotta keep moving. Hey, listen to this part. See, even then I don't feel it, you're working. Even when I don't see it, you're working. You never stop working. You never stop, 'cause he's a miracle worker. Woo! I know for myself. Oh, you're a miracle worker. Yeah. Just trust God, 'cause he's a miracle worker. In your darkest days, you know, he's a miracle worker, Ooh. Troubles don't last always. Believe that.
Man, what an amazing reminder that troubles don't last always. Thank you so much, Vincent Rutley, for joining me today. And thank you for tuning in to today's episode of Mental Notes Live. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to the YouTube channel. And don't forget to hit the bell for post notifications. I will see you guys next week. Wood, take us out of here.